And all of a sudden he's screaming from the bathroom. And I was like, what's going on? I went in the bathroom and he's like speechless, just pointing to the shower, and the shower was full of dimes. And from that day, ever since, great days, bad days, when I miss her, she shows up in dimes. About 8 months later, my mom passed away.
So for people who haven't read the book, can you just kind of give a quick spiel?
Oh, absolutely.
What's the dimes?
So when my mom was sick, we were having a conversation because we knew she was going to die. You know, she had a terminal disease. And I was talking to her. I was saying, you know, Mama, what am I going to do when you're gone? She was my best friend. You know, I talked to her about everything. And she said, you know, I used to feel the same way when Granny died, which was her mama. And she was like, one day she was having a terrible day at work, and she went to sit at her desk, and there was a nickel sitting like on the edge of her desk. And she was like, all of a sudden she was just drawn to this nickel. And she felt peace and calm, and she felt like she felt the presence of her mom. And I was like, what? And so she was like, ever since then, when she would have, you know, good days, bad days, whatever, or she missed her mom, she would find nickels. And so I was like, so you think Granny leaving you nickels? And she was like, I feel like she is, like, as a sign that she's around me. And so we laughed about it. I was like, well, if that's what you think, what you gonna leave me, you know, when you're gone, so I know you're around. And she said, I'll double it and I'll leave you dimes. And I was like, all right, you know, just joking, laughing, not really thinking about it. And about 8 months later, my mom passed away. And we were in North Carolina at the time. And so nobody was here at our apartment. And so when we came back, that first night, we'd been gone for a couple of weeks. I went to get into bed, and my bed was full of dimes. And I was like, why are these dimes in the bed? Like, you know, I wasn't even thinking. And my husband was like, why you got dimes in the bed? I was like, I don't have dimes in the bed. And then it hit me. And I was like, ain't no way. Like, it ain't no way. It's under the cover. You know what I'm saying? And so I told my husband, he was like, no, Tam, I don't want to hear about it, you know? Right. And so all night I was like, it's not possible. Like, how, you know? And that morning when I got up, I was cooking in the kitchen, and Chance went to go take a shower.